Hello everybody, welcome back and what's up? Today we're going to be talking about an outward guide. This one is in relation to the Light Spire that's in Hallowed Marsh. Originally when you go to this area you'll notice that there's a force field that's blocking you from getting to the city of Berg. Trying to get into the forest from this direction, which should be the eastern side, is currently blocked off until you deal with this Light Spire. And previously when you don't fight this boss that's at the top, because there is somebody up here, you actually have to fight through a bunch of different fire-based mobs like that that do shoot lightning projectiles. Some of them do. That one does right there. That one is melee. That's spear. They're pretty easy to deal with. However, that one down there has about like 2 swords built into his arms. He's pretty difficult to deal with, but you can get a bunch of loot from this place as well. That does reset every few days too. But one thing that you want to look at too is when you do actually get up here and make your way, there is a rune. So usually there would be a rune that pop up in that center section, that little block over there, that's that pillar that's empty right now, that spear guy just walked past. When you get to this section, and the way you get here is by using the levers. There's a bunch of different levers hidden all over the place that you can pull to start unlocking these teleportation devices. And then once you do, you'll be able to get up here, and then you'll see that one, and you'll be able to use it, and then you'll be able to pull that rune out. So make sure to pay attention to that one as well. Also over there, that is actually the legacy chest right there. So what I think this is, that one right there, is when you open that, you can put one item in there. So I believe you can transfer that item over to your new character, including silver, more than likely. So if you wanted to put all of your money into one new character, you could probably do that as well. So that's going to be really cool to find out more about as well. But the main thing of the guide is we want to introduce you to the Lightbringer. So this is initially where the conversation starts, and this man, or this entity rather, compares himself to Elat, the god of the holy mission, and he feels that Elat might have been doing it wrong this whole time. He feels like maybe humanity needs to be extinguished. So you go through some dialogue with him, and if you choose to fight him, he tells you that you may enter, but only at your own peril. So when you enter this, it does not start off and look like this. It does not definitely look like this. He looks like more of a pantheon, a lightning pantheon. But what happens is he starts immediately attacking you. You'll notice when you do walk in here, you can't escape. This teleportation here, that's not there. So when you walk in here, you have no choice but to fight. At that point, you have to be ready. And we're going to go into that in just a second on how to be ready. But first, let me introduce you to this guy. So this is the Light Mender, the Lich. And when you beat this man, he actually decides that instead of, going to fight you again, because he's immortal, but he doesn't want to repair himself, he'd rather just make peace with you. What you can do is you can actually get repayment for him. And you can do this every week. This is how you get materials for free. You can choose 3 different types of remaining materials. So basically you have access to the Scraps, Palladium, however you pronounce that. You have blue sand. You also have the Hackmanite. God, I can't pronounce any of these. This one's actually worth 50 silver as well, so that's a really good one to get for money. Copal and the Ammolite. And I bet one of these two is probably worth a good amount of money as well. I haven't tried them fully yet. But these are all different materials that you can use across the regions to craft armor and things like that. Really, really good pieces of equipment. So this guy is definitely the best way to farm materials that I've found so far. And you can do this every week. As I said, he just repays you entirely. The deal really is that he pays you until you die, and then he can just resume his plans of world domination. But either way, for now, that works for us, right? So if we claim one of these, they give you a different amount. So this one could generate 2 chunks of this if I got it, but I could do this 3 times. So I technically could get 6 of that. This one over here, 1 chunk for this one. I'm pretty sure this one is probably worth 50 silver, just like the other one. You can get 1 of these, so technically you can get up to 3. Blue sand, 2 of it, 2 handfuls, and that's used for the starter region gear as well if you craft it. And then of course the scrap, and this is the one that's very popular in our region, the Hallowed Marsh. This is the one that I usually get, so I'd say usually that I'd want this. However, I don't need it because I've already got a bunch of it at this point. So I'm gonna get the Hackmanite. And I'm also going to get the Ammolite and the Copal. I want to see what these are worth exactly. And then when you do that, he says, turn after 1 week is passed. So you can continuously do this as much as possible, as much as you want to farm materials easily after you beat this fight, but it's not, of course, an easy fight. Now, before we go into that, when you beat him, you also get some other items. So he gives you the spear, which is the Golden Lich spear. The stats on it are 20 damage physical, and that's going to be a 10 lightning damage with a 26 impact, attack speed of 1. So pretty cool abilities there that you can use. If you're a spear user, this would probably be a really good one for you as well, especially in this region. He also gives you the Gold Lich mask, which is very good against not only lightning, but fire as well. Gold Lich armor, good against lightning. And the boots, which are also good against lightning, and they also do have a good amount, decent amount of resistance, impact resistance. But the main part of them is the mana cost. If you're a mage user, you would definitely want to use this stuff, because look at that. That's about a 70% mana cost reduction right there. That's crazy. So you would definitely want to be using this as a mage character. On top of that, so in terms of the fight itself, here's the thing. You don't want to do this as a melee character. You don't want to do it in a melee sense. Because if you get close to this man, what he'll do essentially is and if you can see this, he'll actually start exploding these lightning chunks right out at you. And you have to dodge them because you don't want to take them all at once. If you do, you're more than likely going to die. But the best way to go about doing this is to probably just go ahead and take him down with pistols, take him down using range, that kind of thing. The best way I did it personally is I went around, I had an obsidian pistol. It was a fire-based one. So what I would do is I would reload in between his shots, and then I would fire at him to get him burning in a burning status. And then I used the bow to chunk him all the while. Now, if you're using co-op, which co-op should be now fixed after the recent patch that was released today, I recommend, because it'd be much easier in co-op, one person would lead him and dodge the attacks while the other person shoots him with the pistol. If he gets lured by that other person, you get a pistol, shoot him, rinse and repeat. That easy, and you'll probably take him down in no time. He might have some different mechanics when it comes to the co-op, not that I've seen any or anything like that. Of course, we can't go back and do the fight again because there's no save or load or anything like that, but I'm sure you'll be fine. If he does incorporate any new mechanics, like there's 2 liches or anything like that, just do what I said in terms of using the pistol, then the bow, pistol, bow, pistol, bow. You can also put your tent down in there, so if one person needs to rest while the other person continues the fight, that is absolutely possible as well. But that is all for the Lich. It's really straightforward after that, and then once you do beat the fight, as I said before, you can gather those runes. One thing to note, you won't be able to, be passive against the monsters inside the spire. They'll still attack you on sight. But the cool thing is the barrier will now be down to go into the forest. So you'll be able to have easy access to that anytime you want, going in and out of the marsh. You won't have to worry about anything like that. So it definitely has a really good amount of benefits. I highly recommend doing this as soon as possible. But anyway, folks, that is all that we have for today. That is all there is to this place. I hope that you enjoy. I hope you mages really enjoy this weapon and armor that he does give you. Definitely do this as soon as you possibly can, especially if you're joining the Hallowed Marsh faction. Represent the holy mission. And with that, folks, you guys have a wonderful night or day, and thank you so much for joining us. And farewell. And by us, I mean me and the Light Mender. I love this guy.